This is how to replace your rear brake discs on an 05 to 07 WRX or one with the 2-piston rear brake caliper. Tools you're going to need to do this are a breaker bar, a ratchet, a small extension, and a 14mm socket. So the first thing you're going to do is remove the rear wheel with a 19mm socket and your breaker bar. And then the next thing we're going to do is remove this rear caliper, which there are 2 bolts behind holding it in. One up top right here, one 14mm, and then one towards the bottom down here. So for the top one, you're going to need to use your small extension and your breaker bar to get that one loose. So just get it in place. So just get your breaker bar in place on the nut, and then make sure to pull it anti-clockwise. And once you cracked it, we're going to go ahead and move it down to the next nut. And to do that, you take off your extension and just use the straight socket. And this will be for the bottom nut. So get that on the nut and turn it anti-clockwise again. And once you've done that with the breaker bar, you can go in with, oh, it's a bit too tight, but now we can go in with the ratchet and loosen it all the way. So once you got those 2 nuts out like that, just gonna lift off your caliper and place it down here on the rear sway bar, making sure it's not going to fall off. And now make sure that your handbrake's undone. We're just going to get both hands and slide off this rear disc. Now this is what it should look like after you've slid the disc off. Now you're going to take your new disc. This is the DBA part number, and I've already gone ahead and painted the center of my disc so that it doesn't rust, using some caliper paint. And so what we're going to do now is actually use some brake cleaner on a rag and wipe off the braking surface of any oil or dirt. So now you can go ahead and slide on the new disc. And now we're going to take the caliper back and slide it back over in the original position. This might be a bit tricky because the new disc is a bit thicker, but yeah. And once you've done that, just put the bolts back in, tighten it up with your breaker bar, and then you're good to go.